Pop culture is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on the Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Hey, can you guys hear me now? I unplugged my mic. Hopefully, now the audio is working. Really? Oh my goodness. Hang on. Let me see. Audio, internal microphone. Is it working? Is it working? Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug my mic back in. Sorry, I've been having tech issues. I do not know what it's causing it. For me, it doesn't tell me that like the audio doesn't work. It just looks weird. So I'm going to plug it in again. You guys, please, live chat. Thank you so much, by the way. Let me know if you can hear me once I plug this in. This is my mic. It's the Blue Yeti. I want to use it because the audio quality is a million times better. So I'm going in. Y'all, let me know if you can hear. Okay. I have officially. So I have plugged in my microphone. I am turning the volume input up, and hopefully now you guys are able to still hear me. Yay, we did it. Thank y'all so much. Whoa, what an ordeal. Listen, live shows, you really never know what is going to happen. You really don't. So thank y'all so much for your patience. I'm really happy that the mic is working. Y'all, we have a last minute story that we have to add into today's morning report. By the way, we're going to have to get into Janelle and what's going on with her mother and everything. So just as a reminder, you guys, Janelle Evans, disgraced former Teen Mom 2 star, her mother, Barbara Evans, recently suffered a stroke. We talked about this on the show, and she's at home now recovering. She was hospitalized, but she's recovered. Or recovering, I should say, at home. And there were some conflicting reports about whether or not Janelle is there. Her sister Ashley, and this is something I haven't spoken about on the show yet, but her sister Ashley said that Janelle isn't there with her mother. Janelle is harassing the family, something like that, right? Well, now Janelle has since gone online. In fact, I saw this post of hers just before going live. So she literally just posted this thing maybe like 20 minutes ago, in which she debunks Ashley's claims. Okay, so you know what, we're going to go ahead and start with this story. We're going to start with this story, then we're going to do the greetings and everything. Okay, just because I think this is a really big story that I want to get out of the way before I forget while it's fresh in my mind, because again, I did not prep to do the story at all. It kind of fell into my lap just before I started recording the morning report for you guys. So in order to clap back at Ashley's claims, Janelle on Instagram shared this photo. So it shows that she is, listen, we don't know whose house this is. This could be a photo she's got framed at her own house for all we know, right? Just saying. But I do believe that she is in North Carolina at Barbara's house. This is something that I did report on when we talked about this story earlier in the week, okay? So Janelle said, and I quote, "Cute. Despite what stories my sister is selling, I've been here at my mom's the entire week. My sister's been nowhere to be found. We'd rather not have her around at the moment due to her mental instability. My mom's health is better, and we will speak about it. And I will speak about it when the time is right." So it seems like both sisters are accusing each other of not being present for their mother. And the scary thing about it is that both sisters are mentally unsound, right? Or seemingly mentally unsound. And so it's really hard to know who is the one that should be believed, right? Like it looks like Janelle is actually present and there and everything at her mom's house, but who's to say Barbara isn't trying to get her out of there either, right? I really don't know. But Janelle did also share last night a series of photos of, just some memories, right? Her kids as babies and everything like that, herself as a baby. So she was really going through memory lane. And so I guess these are photos that she found in her mother's house. I initially assumed that these were photos that she found around her own home, but I do believe that this is something that was found in Barbara's home. So there you go, you guys, in regards to who's around Barbara right now as she recovers from her stroke. Do I believe that Barbara doesn't want Ashley around? Listen, I think Janelle's probably done a million times worse to Barbara than Ashley can ever. So if Janelle is allowed near Barbara, I don't see why Ashley wouldn't be around near Barbara. Just saying. Let's take a look and see what you guys have to say about it. Okay. So we've got Laura who says, good morning, Grace. Hopefully Babs gets better quickly. Amen to that. And good morning to you too. She also says that Ashley and Janelle are one in the same, and they truly are. And it makes me feel really bad for Barbara. Like she really was batting 0 for 3 as far as her kids are concerned. And I really just cannot even imagine. It's really, really sad. Lynn, your comment made me laugh so hard. Yes, love that for us. Good morning to you, boo. Ray says, checks out. Are we surprised though? No, one thing about Barbara is even though her relationship with Janelle is incredibly, incredibly draining, toxic, and unhealthy, she never loses hope. Right. And I imagine after something as life and death scary, as a stroke at her age, especially, it makes you want to try even that much harder. And so I'm not surprised that she's allowed for Janelle to be around her at this particular time. I think at this time, she's really seeing a lot of her own mortality and hoping that this is going to be a wake up call for her daughter. Hey, Brie, I love your new photo. It's so pretty. Oh, wow, that's so sad. I believe Ashley, not her, right? But, don't forget, Ashley's she's kind of off too, right? Like, I really do not know who to believe when it comes to these two girls because they are both just so, so off. This entire story is sad, right? Like, I really feel for Barbara. It seems like she had she got the short end of the stick as far as life is concerned. And I wish that things could have turned out better for her in general. Laura says they're too busy trying to be the better grown kid to give two craps about what's up. At least Ashley made a comment. Lynn says, can't trust Janelle. We know she lies. Laura says they're both psycho. B-Wise is asking who is taking care of Jace in this particular situation. As far as reports are concerned, they've been saying that Jace is actually still living with Barbara and taking care of Barbara throughout her recovery. So, he's over there, which, I wonder how he feels, right, at this point. Is he kind of a little bit triggered by the presence of his deadbeat mom while he's staying over there at his home in North Carolina? Because I do imagine that could be incredibly upsetting, right, for Jace as well. So definitely do not forget to keep Jace in your thoughts as well during this moment. Carly says she's so full of it. The worst thing she could do is be around Barbara during this time. I hate it for Barbara. She deserves better and children that'll help her. Amen. But Barbara is just so freaking forgiving. She truly, truly is. So I'm genuinely not surprised that she allowed for Janelle to even be there with her. And listen, since we're all on the same page about her sister Ashley also kind of being off, I do wonder, behind the scenes, what really has ever happened between Barbara and Ashley. So I am currently reading Janelle's autobiography called Read Between the Lines for my channel members. And so she does go a little bit into the details of her sister and whatnot, but not too much. She did say that Ashley was also always kind of known as the weird girl in school and stuff. I forget why exactly it is. But her issues started very, very young, but it seemed like she had a good relationship with Barbara nonetheless. It doesn't seem like anybody but Janelle had a really explosive relationship with Barbara, despite them all suffering from their own mental and emotional health challenges. Angie says, who knows, maybe this will be what makes Janelle grow up and be a better human. You would think so, but I'm not sure. Listen, y'all, I am still under the belief that Janelle is kind of low-key jealous. Janelle's been trying to pass herself off as very, very sick for a long while. now, right? She's been going to doctor after doctor, trying to get somebody, anybody, to diagnose her with anything. And it just has not really been working, right? She's doing and taking anything she can to try and get some kind of attention online. And then here comes her mother, who already, y'all are cracking me up. And here comes her mother, who already has custody of her son, now getting a real illness, having a real, medical crisis issue that has everybody rallying around her and really, really, worried about her and whatnot. Like, can you imagine just how jealous Janelle is about all of this? So be careful. Honestly, if I were Barbara, I would sleep with my meds under my pillow just in case, so that Janelle doesn't go and try to, try and snatch them for herself, as weird as she is, you guys. My goodness, this whole story is so strange. I'm going to continue to update y'all as more information comes out. But again, Janelle is denying her sister's claims that she is not in North Carolina. She shared some photos of what is supposed to be the inside of Barbara's home, to indicate that she is by her mother's side as she recovers from the stroke that she recently suffered. She did also confirm that she would be eventually coming out with more information about what it is that happened to her mom and just, how she feels about it and everything like that. So stay tuned. I wonder how she's going to come out with this info. Is she going to pull a Kail? Because I'm sorry, but this Kail video of her recording herself crying over her dad's deathbed confessions and then putting it up on Patreon is just so freaking like millennially unhinged to me. Like, it's insane. It truly, truly is. We are going to be getting into that in today's episode of the Morning Report as well. Don't you worry. It is coming, because wow, do I ever have a lot to say. I do also have a copy of that video as well. So let's get into our next story. Did you guys hear that Saweetie is being accused of being a full-blown witch? I'm really stunned by this. I really, really am, because Saweetie, I've heard a lot of rumors about her, like maybe her being kind of like a side piece and things like that. But her being a literal witch is not something that I actually ever really expected anyone to come out and accuse her of. But her former friend has an awful lot to say about her. And, I wanted to share some of the allegations with you guys to get your opinions on what it is that is being said about this rapper. By the way, Saweetie, I find her very fascinating, because I think I could only name maybe 2 songs of hers. Yet for some reason, her name still does stay in the headlines. And I find that to be particularly interesting, but I digress. Shout out to the Neighborhood Talk for getting all of these screenshots of the allegations that her ex-friend made against her on Instagram. Apparently, Saweetie owes her a lot of money, and she's decided to go ahead and air Saweetie out until she gets that damn money. So there's a lot of allegations of Saweetie being some sort of a mistress, being into coke and all sorts of other things like that. So let me go ahead, start from the very beginning so that we don't miss out on anything. So the friend goes by Maybach May over on Instagram. And so she posted on her stories, coke, witchcraft, and liquor is one hell of a mix. Send me my bread, home wrecker. And then she tagged her girl, Saweetie. I tried to be nice. Nice don't get you nowhere, with a kissing emoji. And then she followed that up by posting a video of what is purported to be Saweetie throwing it back in a circle, shaking her booty at a club, with a caption that reads, and I quote, "Hey, sweetie, I see you playing internet games on Beyonce's internet child. Let me know how you want to play this. I'm either going to receive my money from you, or I can start addressing some of them rumors with TMZ. We spent almost a month in Africa. You should know I wasn't going to let you play me out of some money." When you say we spent over a month in Africa and I wasn't going to let you play me out of some money, you know what it's giving? It's given the Real Housewives of Atlanta girls going to Nigeria to kind of like, prostitute themselves for money, right? The Dirty December girls, like, Portia getting her Rolls Royce by a married old man, and then Kenya getting her own Bentley by some other, old man over there. Like, that's what it's giving, especially when you associate it with this video in particular. This whole thing is so freaking messy. So Saweetie is currently in a relationship with a baseball player, and her friend had quite a bit to say about that as well. So apparently, Saweetie was some sort of a mistress in the situation, right? So there was comments made in a photo of her boyfriend and her at a football game. By the way, you can see Saweetie's accuser next to her in this photo, right? And so somebody by the name of Maurice had tweeted, they want Serge to lower his wages with Saweetie on his roster. Please be serious. You thought you was getting 180K per week pay rise when Saweetie asking for her third Birkin bag this week is Wednesday. So apparently she wants a lot of money out of her boyfriend. And so here comes her ex-friend to drag her, saying, and I quote, "I'll tell a joke, but I ain't never told a lie. I sent you to Dubai because you never balled before and was depressed looking for a happy life." So essentially this friend is kind of like a madam, right? Because this is giving I trafficked you. You were my client. You were ready to sell your coochie out in Dubai. And y'all know how they get down in Dubai, right? You've heard the rumors. You've heard about those porter potties. You heard about all the other weird stuff. Apparently, Saweetie was ready to do all that to have a balling kind of Instagram page, make herself look really rich. She is the icy girl. She likes that money, right? And so apparently she was willing to do anything in the world to get it, which is very, very sad to say the least. She's a very beautiful girl. She's already like notorious on her own. She's got a career. I think she could have found a nice, regular rich guy who wasn't going to do like these kinds of weird things with her, but I digress. I took you to London, babes, took you to Nigeria, booked you an Australian tour. I have this girl so much only for her to play with my money at the end. I'm just missing my money from London. Pay up, cokehead, for before I start naming the rest of the husbands you was playing with. I feel like, okay, go ahead, expose Saweetie if you want. Like I'm not turning down this tea. This tea is very interesting. It's very entertaining. It's very kind of like jaw-dropping or whatever. However, just know, boo, you were not looking very good either. You're looking like a madam. And, you might get yourself investigated if you keep, opening up this can of worms, right? And you were okay with Saweetie playing around with people's husbands so long as you were getting a commission as her alleged pimp. But now all of a sudden, because she cut you out the loop, here you are trying to have a leg up on her, which I think is really, really strange. Just saying. So let me go ahead and get into you guys' comments about this before I get to the final slide that the girl said. So Angie says, isn't this that girl that messed with Cardi's ex-husband Offset? Well, that's the rumor, but Offset just went on Keke Palmer's podcast. And this is something we covered in yesterday's episode of the show, but he was on Keke Palmer's podcast. And on that podcast, he did admit that he cheated with other women. However, he denied that Saweetie was amongst those women. Do we believe him? Whether or not you do is up to you. I personally don't know. I think that maybe there is some sort of agreement between the two of them just to like deny, right? You really can never tell. I don't trust somebody who cheats on his wife repeatedly to tell the truth about anything. Like that's not an honest person. That's not a trustworthy person. So, your guess is as good as mine if that actually did happen. Control Alt Delete says, I've been seeing a lot of videos lately saying Saweetie is really for the streets. I have too. And it makes me sad, like I really hope it's not the case, but I think that if everybody's saying the same thing about a particular person and that person is not exactly this huge name that people want to clout chase off of, right? It might be true. And again, I find that to be very, very, very disappointing. Becky says she's giggling at all this, and the Atlanta girls too. You know it. They're all for sale. Unfortunately. And so I don't know. It makes me really sad for these girls. I think that they can do a lot better. They already have money. All you have to do, go find yourself a nice financial advisor, give him that nice like nest egg you've got, and then get that money to work for you, right? Like, why go and do this sort of thing? Like, it's so gross. It's so weird, but I digress. Creme Brulee says, Offset lied, smirked when he said that, just like Bill Clinton. See, you can't trust Offset as far as you can throw him. And listen, I don't think any of us can throw him all that far. So there was a last message that her friend had left over on Instagram stories. She did say, and I quote, before sharing a text message exchange, I want to make one thing clear. I booked her for an appearance to visit the Chelsea Stadium and support the soccer team, as my last post shows. Instead of paying me, she fell in love with the client and told him not to pay me. I was a road manager with her getting her deals. I was solid to this girl. She got what she wanted and never paid me. Simple. I want my money. Listen, that sounds fair enough, but I'm still under the belief that you were pimping out Sweetie. It just looks really weird. The way that you've been saying it, I do not trust this. I'm a road manager and that's it. Maybe that's your front and whatnot for what it is that you two were doing, but it's very much giving, trafficking, selling the cat and whatnot. And so she did also share a text message exchange in her stories as well that I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys. So in it, it looks like she is talking to some kind of a dealer, because the person is saved as Dee Dee with 3 snowflake emojis, snowflakes typically representing Coke. And so Dee Dee had texted me back May saying, my messages to you are blue. Oh, now they're back. And then she also said to this person, what are you doing? We should do a big bear trip with good friends, group co-ed. Oh my God, it's so nice here. Not even that cold. It's 2 hours from LA. This person said at the studio, girl, all my friends are out of state. When bees run it up on Jaden, how much they doing in a weekend, right? And so to accompany this, because I don't understand it, she says, Sancho, after you're done paying and getting tattoos of a hoe you barely know, Sancho is the name of Sweetie's boyfriend. Run me my money. She hates her career, so you come right on time like the trick you are. I just want what y'all owe me. Listen, if your client doesn't pay you for your work and you are a professional that can show that you were doing some real work for this client, not just trafficking her around to Dubai, London, and whatnot, to be, right? Go ahead and take it to the court of law. To go ahead and to post this type of stuff on social media when your job is supposedly road manager, meaning that you need to work with famous people. This type of stuff is going to kill your career. Maybe you'll get that little 5, 10, 15, 20 grand commission that you are supposed to get off of your client, but you're going to lose any other potential client that you could have had, which would have led to a lot of money. So that's another reason why I'm not sure this whole road manager thing is true. I think that this is a madam of some sort, but the entire story is weird. I think that Sweetie needs to kind of maybe disappear for a little while before coming back into the public eye, because it's just not looking good for her. It really isn't. She's not building a good reputation for herself. And, the music industry is already so misogynistic, and female rappers are already not taken as seriously as they should be. So to have this sort of stuff attached to you is just really icky and gross and detrimental to your career. So I would love to see her kind of go away for a little bit, focus on dating this guy, maybe try to lock it down, and then try coming back a little bit later. Now, you guys, why don't we get into the Sophia Abraham tattoo story? Can I just say, I thought that I was in the twilight zone. I truly, truly did when the story came out, because I was minding my own business on Instagram when Farrah's Instagram page came up, and in it, she's posting about Sophia getting a tattoo. And I'm like, what do you mean? No, like it's a semi-permanent tattoo. Sophia is a minor, right? Like I get that she likes for Sophia to express herself with this like big and bold makeup and everything. Like she's got those snake bite piercings and whatnot, whatever, right? Around Sophia's age, I had a friend who got those snake bite piercings. And I think there were other kids in school who had those as well. So whatever. But then to hear that she actually allowed for this child to go and get a tattoo, and not just any tattoo, but a tattoo in a certain region, I'm like, oh, this is weird. Like, surely other people are going to find it weird too, right? But then when I went through the comment section, people were praising Farrah for allowing Sophia to express herself. And I don't know, y'all take a look at the video announcing the tattoos and seeing where the tattoo is and whatnot, and let me know what you think, okay?
Oh my God!
So there you guys go. The video from the tattoo appointment. She she let her 16-year-old go ahead and get these tattoos. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think about it. I think it's a bit much. I think the self-expression stuff is great. Temporary tattoos would have been great, but to actually allow her to get full-blown tattoos and to allow her to be tattooed in this area as well was just really, really strange to me. Seeing those photos of that guy tattooing her and this like place leading to like the lower parts, I'm like, this just feels really, really inappropriate. And so just to see all the love and support for it like was really, really strange. Just saying. I want to know what y'all think though. Okay, so y'all let me know what you have to say about it in the comment section. Kristen says, oh my god, nope, couldn't be my kid. Right? Like, just no, it seems really strange. Ray is hoping that this is just rage bait, but unfortunately it's true. This is a real tattoo that they've officially announced on their Instagram pages. Good morning, Ronnie. Nice to see you, boo. Happy Thursday. Laura says, oh, I love your new photo, by the way. I feel a lot of people hate that Sophia actually likes Insane Clown Posse and that Farrah is okay with it. You know, I think a lot of people honestly have tried to be as supportive as possible when it comes to the other stuff, like the dramatic makeup, the facial piercings. Like, I haven't really seen too much backlash about it. To me, I think, and even this tattoo, I have, like, when you go look at the page, like Farrah's Instagram page or Sophia's, the comments are very, very positive, which is really surprising to me because I do not feel positively about this personally. Carla says, I was an alternative kid and would have loved my mom to let me go get a tattoo at 15 or 16, but now being a mom, nope on a rope. There's so many underage kids walking around with tattoos nowadays, and it's crazy. You know, even in the comment section of that post about Sophia's tattoos, so many people were talking about getting like these tattoos at like the ages of like 15. Some people were even saying like 14 or something like that, right? Which I don't know. I don't know about it, to be quite honest with you guys, right? Laura's a fan of the tattoo. Acacia says a lot of kids have tattoos. I've seen football players with them. Depend on the parents, right? And it seems like Farrah is really, really intent on her daughter doing whatever it is that she wants as far as her freedom of expression is concerned. And again, I think it's great that she's allowing her daughter to express herself, but tattoos, especially such big ones and stuff in these areas, it's a lot for me. I gotta say, listen, I might be your boomer or something, because a lot of the stuff that like these, you know, these young kids, these young whippersnappers are getting up to these days are like big hell no's for me. But I digress. Kahara says, my mom let me get a tattoo. What? At 15, she came with me and helped me pick it out. It's almost in the same spot as Sophia's. Seriously, Kahara, you are shocking me. Can you tell us what the tattoo was of, if it's still holding up at this point? Like, do you still like it? I really want to know everything about the situation. Si Bonjour says, I really want to know how their conversations go. You know, I kind of feel like it's Sophia being like, Mom, I want to insert extreme body modification thing. Farrah being like, all right, sure, honey. And then like, that's it, right? Lauren says, my oldest is 18. I let him get piercings under 18, but a tattoo is out of the question. And I have lots of tattoos myself. And I think that's fair, right? Because these piercings, like, they come and go. The holes can close, or maybe it'll just like leave a little tiny hole that you probably wouldn't even notice if you're not looking for it like that. But the tattoo stuff, wow, like that seems really, really major, to be honest with you. Becky says, I don't know. I guess they have the money to get it removed, but it sounds so painful. I would never in the real world. I beg my kids now to never get a tattoo. And listen, I feel you. The idea of letting a literal 16-year-old decide their own tattoo is just, it's really brutal to me, because you change your mind so many times. I used to want to get tattoos when I was younger. And now I'm like, oh my God, thank God I never got anything, because the things I wanted to get, like, I would be cringing, because I was like a wrist girly. I'm like, I would be cringing every time I had to look down at my wrist or something like that, you know? Good morning, Jamie. Nice to see you. Lori says, where they are is kind of strange, but I have no hate for Farrah for allowing it. And I totally get it. You know, maybe it's just the placement that's especially like strange to me. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's very inappropriate for that guy to be tattooing, you know, a 16-year-old girl in these places. It's very, very strange to me. Like, I did not like seeing those photos. Made me very uncomfortable. Ray says she's literally exploiting her child and is setting her up for predators on a silver platter. So disgusting. I can't believe this one, but not surprising anymore. It really feels like this, like she'll say yes to anything Sophia wants in the name of self-expression. And I think, again, it is important, but there should be limits. This is a lot. This is a lot, right? And she's like, why are celebrity kids too much? Because nobody tells them no, right? And be wise. I worry that she will too. They're very, very dramatic and extreme. And, you guys have always said this on my channel, but I really do feel like Sophia's goth aesthetic is, this kind of like shield or armor to protect herself against the creeps that her mother has exposed her to throughout her life and whatnot. And I wouldn't be surprised if she eventually kind of shed this thing when she gets older. And so I don't know, like, is she still going to like this stuff? I don't know. Right. It's very, very scary to allow such permanent decisions. Like, yeah, of course, there's tattoo removals and stuff, but what is essentially a permanent decision at only 16 years old. Ashley said she's indifferent. She didn't need to post it on social media, especially the spot it's in. Stop showing creepy men what she's up to. Exactly. I feel like Farrah was probably so happy when she saw where it was, because she likes to feed the creeps in her social media pages. So that's probably why she's posting it so much, right? Shelby says, I had tattoos way earlier, really earlier than 16. How old were you when you were getting tattoos? Oh my God. Deshauna says, well, that's going to look weird when she's older. Yikes. Especially, it's a lot, isn't it? I don't know. Am I a boomer? Because I don't get it, and I think you're right. Like when you start super, super young, like by the time you're, I don't know, 30 or something, like how's it going to look? Ashley says a lot of kids have tattoos before 18, which makes me indifferent, but why post it? Stop using her for attention. That's a lot, right? And I can agree with you as well. I'm happy that Farrah isn't trying to force her to be this girly girl, this preppy girl or anything like that. But again, I think that she probably should say no once in a while. And you know what, Ray, you probably do have a point there about the comments being filtered so that everything appears to be positive about it, right? Venetia says she is not letting her daughter get a tattoo. Good. 16 feels very, very young. If she wants it that bad, give her 2 years to continue to think about it. See if she gets it when she can sign on the dotted line herself, Cami says, Farrah raised Sophia to be her best friend, so I'm not surprised she let her get a real tattoo. I agree. I don't know, y'all. All of this is just so, so strange to me, but it's not surprising, right? It was only a matter of time before things went to that level. Bree says, I see a girl expressing herself yet knowing these are signs she's not happy. What is she trying to hide with the makeup and tats now? Exactly. I'm sorry, but I feel like this is hiding, a lot of sadness, right? And a lot of just other things that might be going on, with her. Again, I think that this is a major rejection of her mother's work, and the creepy people who follow her mother, and by consequence engage with her on social media as well. Didn't her mother, when Sophia was like 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12 years old, didn't her mother, Farrah, give out her Snapchat, and a bunch of like random men ran to Snapchat and start trying to call her and send her pictures and stuff? Like, is it surprising that she wound up like this? No, not really. All right. It was a logical thing. Terry says we need to be questioning the man that tattooed a child. Exactly. Listen, I could never do it. Just ew. It's just so freaking weird. It really is. I'm sorry, okay, maybe if it's like a little wrist tattoo or something like that. But the fact that this man was okay with this thing is it gives off really, really weird vibes. You guys, my picture is showing up a little strange because I'm missing one of my lights. So what I'm actually going to have to do is use my water break to run and grab one of my studio lights so I could balance out the lighting here and come back and give you guys that Kail story. Like I mentioned earlier, Kail Lowry had a conversation with her father, Meat Locker Ray, on his deathbed about her childhood, why he wasn't present for her, why he didn't try harder. And so she shares some of the excerpts on that on social media. You have to pay to get into her Patreon to watch the full video and whatnot. But, like I said earlier, I was actually so stunned by just how dystopian the whole thing really was. But like I said, I got to go get some lights. This kind of like light balance is bothering me. I need to fill this side. So give me a second. I'll go ahead and get it, and I'll be right back to talk about the Kail Lowry story. If you're enjoying today's episode of The Morning Report, please don't forget to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And I will catch you on the flip side. The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running.
Tired of learning languages in boring, frustrating ways? Try TalkPal. TalkPal is your personal AI language tutor. It teaches you languages in fun, engaging ways. It gives you real-time feedback, assesses your pronunciation, and the learning process is personalized just for you. Join millions of other learners and start your language learning journey today.
The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your... Yes. And, oh, is that even worse? No, we're better. Lord have mercy. We are back. Or maybe it's my camera that's off. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out what is so off. Anyway, you guys, why don't we get into our Kail Lowry story, y'all? So Kail Lowry has found Meat Locker Ray. She went all the way to Texas to get some final information about him, about her childhood, and why he wasn't as present for her as she would have liked for him to be. It's a very, very touching conversation, but I'm going to play it for you guys and we'll talk about it on the flip side. So here you go.
But at what point did you just not call or mail stuff anymore? Did you know we were coming?
What did I make, Suzanne?
Yes. Imagine where I would be if you would have raised me.
He tried to get you, but we should have went back. We shouldn't have just let it go. Because I think if we'd have went back, we would have found out that she didn't go to rehab like she was supposed to.
Wish that someone would have tried harder. But if things would have been different, if the adults could have just gotten their shit together earlier, it should have been like that. I should have been coming down here. But it just feels like nobody tried, and that's what's so frustrating. I grew up not knowing who you were. I didn't know you. My kids don't know you. I don't know how to let go of the anger, and I guess that's what I'm trying to do. I don't want to be mad anymore. But at what point did you just not call or mail stuff anymore?
There you guys go. I wanted to ask actually if any of you guys were members of Kail Lowry's Patreon account and able to watch the full video, because I really want to know what y'all thought about the overall thing. In fact, let me go ahead to see Kail's Patreon to see if I want to sign up just to watch this one video, because I do think that this is something that might interest you guys. So let me go ahead, search Kail Lowry Patreon. But overall, like I said, there's just something really weird and sad about how it's almost normal to go and like film such an intimate moment for content and for monetization purposes. Like it just feels really, really strange. But because of where we're at right now, where so many people do these sorts of things, like maybe it's not hitting as shockingly as it should, but it is a really strange and shocking thing, what just happened there. Just saying. And it looks like a lot of you guys are on the same page. Of course, it's incredibly sad what she's going through, but it's incredibly, incredibly weird to set up a tripod, film yourself crying as you're listening to these like shocking and traumatic stories about why your father kind of abandoned you as a child or how he was struggling. Like it's weird. He's in a very, very vulnerable state right now. He's in hospice care. Like this is a weird and predatory thing to do, but I digress. Listen, guys, I did drop a StreamYard link in case you guys wanted to call in with your opinions about the Kail story, the Farrah/Sophia tattoo story, or anything like that. Okay. Acacia, your comment made me laugh so hard. She's like, listen, Kail and her money. You can't make this ish up. And listen, this is what Javi said, right? She and Javi have a lot of beef right now. And Javi said, I can't believe you took my child from me, just to go and drop him off with a babysitter so you can go and run behind this man you don't even know and you don't even care about. Kail was allegedly bragging to her like family, friends, or whatever that this was just something that she's doing for content. You know, essentially, I don't care about this guy, which listen, if she doesn't care about her dad, it's totally understandable. Her dad was not present in her life. So I understand why she wouldn't care about him. But then to brag that you're going to use him in hospice for like content and make like money is kind of strange, right? The lady talking, I believe it was her aunt who helped her coordinate things. And her sister, I think her sister's name's like Mackenzie or something, was also present as well. So it's either her aunt or her sister, but I believe it was her aunt. Shelby says, who's the lady talking? And if Susie was going to rehab, that would have been done so bad to have a court order to stay away. That's what she said before. Ashley says, I'm not actually mad about this. Laura says, yes, I get why she's upset and I'm happy she's talked to her dad, but she didn't for effing money and it's gross. East Awesome's in the building. What did he say? I see a comment about East Awesome. What did you say, East? I can't find your comment here. Let's see. I don't know why, but anytime I'm trying to like go back and find some comments, like everything kind of just like goes away, which is driving me nuts, right? Kail was a doll when she was little, says Cammie. Bree says, this bothers me. Girl, you just got major surgery and you're flying and crying. Not flying and crying. No wonder her face is blowing up. It's cortisol, stress, inflammation. And, you know, speaking of the surgery, it is true that there's a lot going on, you know, with Kail this year, right? Because she started off the year, the holidays, right? She didn't spend the holidays with the kids. She was recovering from second round of lipo, boob work, and just, you know, tummy tuck stuff. Mommy makeover part 2. Then a couple months later, what happened? She's getting surgery for her double chin and neck area. And then what happens? Next, she disappears because she wants to confront her father and this and that. Like, it's a lot going on. This has been a really, really heavy, hectic, and busy year for Kail, a very, very stressful year for Kail. And so, yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And it looks like a lot of you guys are just, you know, stunned by this entire thing. And I, you know, I'm with you guys. It's all so strange. Hey, wait a second. I did say I was going to go on her Patreon. So let me see how much his Patreon costs so I can get all that juice. Bree says, but she needs to do something out of her heart, not for money. Everything she does is for money. It's so empty. She's so empty. It's sick. You know, and that's the sad and scary part is that Kail only thinks in terms of money, right? So if you listen to her podcast, for example, she had that girl, she was like a YouTuber, Tish something, like the one who was on the canceled podcast with Ethan. No, it's Frenemies, I think. Whatever. You guys know her. She's Tish, and she's been on YouTube forever. She's like a big troll. So Kail had her on the podcast, and every other word is, we should monetize that. We should monetize that. We should make that a business. Like, that's how she thinks. And then when she was talking about like being very depressed, wanting to end herself, and people being like, oh no, you can't do that. You've got kids to live for. Your kids are so young. Some of them are like a year old. Like, no, she goes, oh, it's okay. Like, I've got a lot of money. I'm better off, you know, they're better off with me, like, deceased than me here. Like, that's truly, truly, truly how she thinks and feels. And it's just so sad to me, right? You know what, sweet bonjour, I think this is the best way you can say it, right? And it makes me sad because when you watch that video, you see all of the hurt, right? All of the pain, all of the suffering that has led to her, unfortunately, becoming such a, you know, weird person, right? Who seems to lack like basic empathy and like a lot of just like, you know, basic interpersonal things and skills, right? Thank you, Honey Badger. That is so nice. Thank you. So yeah, it makes me sad for her. I'm sad for her, but at the same time, I think the filming of it, choosing the right angle for yourself, looking down, making sure the camera's capturing you crying with your little handkerchief, and then picking out the perfect sad song, and then, you know, putting it behind your little paywall. It's all so strange. Shelby says, my dad would have gotten up off that bed and smacked that phone down. Oh my God, gross. Film it for you, cool. And that's what I'm thinking. Film it for yourself, for your memories, right? But then to go and make money off of it is insane. It's unhinged in a way that only Kail knows, right? Keisha says, Kail also used her niece for content. She took her to Target and got 2 carts of toys to make herself look good. Anything for her money. Listen, Kail and her money. It's insane. I really do not know what to say. Thank you, Bree, for becoming a member. So excited to have you here. So let's take a look, you guys. I am on Kail's Patreon thing right now. Hey, it's actually not that expensive. Y'all, I think I might sign up for a month. You know what I'm going to need? Hang on. Let me present it. Because sometimes people have these like memberships that cost a lot of money. Like, I've wanted to join a membership for somebody. I forgot who. Well, actually, I remember, but I want to put this person on blast. And I was like, oh, like I like, because, you know, other creators that I like, I join their memberships. And it's typically, I don't know, like $3 a month or something. I go to this one creators. It was like 12 euros a month. I was like, no, you're doing too much. So here it is. Kail Lowry. Kail Lowry is a host of, okay, whatever, right? That's a cute picture of her, right? She's got her merch. Listen, I got to get my merch out. The holidays are coming, y'all. And you know what? I still have my Grace Report t-shirt. I keep telling myself I have to wear it, but I keep forgetting because I've been going out to lunch lately. So anyway, this is what she has essentially. Her Barely Famous podcast, I really do not care for it, to be honest with you guys. I don't really care to actually see her talking to people. I think I just want this one particular thing because it's going to unleash a lot of, you know, very important information and details about her upbringing and who she is, right? So I'm only going to sign up for like 1 month just to get this particular piece of content. And guys, look, it's only €4.50. Famous effers, I don't know if she calls people that, but okay, will be able to enjoy content in an entirely new format. Join now and receive the following perks. Videos of Barely Famous, no, I don't want it. Chapter 7 book club, no, I can't read. Exclusive bonus mini-sodes. No, I don't want this stuff. I want the thing about the dad. Hang on. Where is it? Kathleen, don't care. Karma Chaos, don't care. Chapter 7. So you have to figure out like which thing you're going to buy. Where does like the exploited dad category fall? Let me go to more membership options. And here I was thinking it was great. It's only $4.50. But if I pay this $4.50 now, they're only going to give me Barely Famous. And I don't care about that. I'm just trying to find the thing about the dad. So let's do this from Isaac to Elliot. What happens if I click on this? Hang on. It opens in a new tab. So hang on. Listen, I need y'all guys' help here right now. We're gonna make this happen together, okay? Lord have mercy. So, for example, I think it would fall into the same category as her Isaac coming out story. And, you know, speaking of monetization, this is something she did to Isaac too. Isaac on the podcast said that he didn't want to go on social media or to really make a formal announcement about his sexuality. He's a minor, right? And then Kail said that she told him like he needed to go ahead and monetize it. I'm like, why does this girl think this way? It's so crazy. So in order to watch this, if I click play, I assume it's going to tell me to buy something. Oh, I can watch this for free.
Figured I'd probably cry at some point, and it's probably best just to go.
So they give you a 30-second preview. Okay. Unlock this post. Join to unlock. Unlock this post. Log in or sign up. Well, no, I don't want to sign up. I don't have one of these. And I don't want her seeing that it's Grace Report. I'm going to have to create an alt. Guys, I'll be back because I really do want to see this thing. So she sells them per episode. So for example, the Isaac episode is $7.50, right? So I'll have to take a look and see. Do I still own? You know what, Carly? I do have that in my sister's house back in Ottawa. I have it. Yes. I have my Grace Report. I have the, you know, and it's still hilarious. I still laugh about that scene all the time in 90 Day Fiancé. What is it? Nicole y Pedro son muy malo para mi familia. Remember from 90 Day Fiancé, Chantal's family. Something lazy with Nicole and Azen in Morocco. Yes, I still rock my merch. And I wear my sweater shirts to sleep. So nasty and so rude. Hi, baby gorgeous. These sorts of things. Yes. I still have them. Right. Good morning, Amelia. Carly says, Kail will always be Kail. Ain't that the truth? Is that a good thing, though? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. You know what? We need the Big Gulp cups. MDR. You know what? I'm going to see if I can get a tumbler and put Big Gulp on it. That is so funny. So funny. A says, you know what? This is hilarious. Explaining a father who put a chain on his fridge so you can't steal his roadkill meat. Sits fine with me. She's extra though with the freight crying. You know what? You kind of ate with that one. I think you're right. Her father was insane, you know, but you know what? Kail now actually is pro her dad and extra anti her mom because the dad told her that he always tried. I don't know if he provided proof that he always tried, but he told her that that was the case and that the mom kept her away and she fell for it. I'm like, isn't that what all the deadbeats say though? Just saying. Just saying. Good morning, Allie. Nice to see you. Hope your meeting went well yesterday. Carly says, did Tiger Lily break up with the guy? Listen, we did talk about this maybe last week or the week before, and the general consensus was that they might be faking it for a spot on that, like, that final paradise thing, like Love in Paradise, to see if they'll like make up or break up sort of a thing. Because around the same time they started with these like rumors or whatever, Darcy and her husband were also doing this sort of a thing. So it looks like those two couples might be cast on the show, and they're trying to build some buzz. Allie feels the same way. She thinks that Kail's father is lying to her. I really, really do believe that to be the case. And I'm kind of sad that she fell for it so easily, right? I do not trust that man at all. Becky doesn't want me to give Kail my $750. What if I do a chargeback? No, I'm just kidding. Speaking of people's mortality, I did want to share with you an update on Dolly Parton. So yesterday on the morning report, we spoke about how Dolly Parton's her sister's name's Frida. And I told y'all again yesterday, that's such a beautiful name. Wow, how exciting. Is Dolly Parton's real name actually Dolly? Because if it's so, that's so cute. Dolly and Frida. So anyway, Frida begged everybody for prayers for Dolly Parton. And we were already worried about Dolly Parton because she's a woman of a particular age. She's about 79 years old, right? And she already had to cancel her residency somewhere due to health issues. She announced that she needed to have multiple surgeries and whatnot. So we were just scared. And then when we heard her sister come out of the woodwork to say that they needed prayers for Dolly, we started worrying that this was the end of Dolly Parton, right? And so this must have really pissed Dolly off, because she's come out in a long video to tell us she's not dead. She's not dead. She's great. Obviously she's having health issues, but she looks great in this video, and she's going to explain to you guys exactly where she's at, okay? So take a look. If you're enjoying this episode of the show, if you're happy about the good news, make sure to like this stream.
I wanted to say, I know lately everybody thinks that I am sicker than I am. Do I look sick to you? I'm working hard here. Anyway, I wanted to put everybody's mind at ease, those of you that seem to be real concerned, which I appreciate. And I appreciate your prayers, because I'm a person of faith. I can always use the prayers for anything and everything. But I want you to know that I'm okay. I've got some problems, as I mentioned, back when my husband Carl was very sick. That was for a long time. And then when he passed, I didn't take care of myself. So I let a lot of things go that I should have been taken care of. So anyway, when I got around to it, the doctor said, we need to take care of this. We need to take care of that. Nothing major, but I did have to cancel some things so I could be closer to home, closer to Vanderbilt, where I'm kind of having a few treatments here and there. But I wanted you to know that I'm not dying. Did you see that AI picture of Reba and me? Oh, Lordy. I mean, they had Reba at my deathbed, and we both look like we need to be buried. But I thought, oh my Lord. But if I was really dying, I don't think Reba would be the one at my deathbed. She might come visit me earlier, but anyway, there's just a lot of rumors flying around. But I figured if you heard it from me, you'd know that I was okay. So anyhow, that's what I wanted to say. And I'm not ready to die yet. I don't think God is through with me, and I ain't done working. So I love you for caring, and keep praying for me.
Working 9 to 5. Did anybody else get that song in their head when she kept on saying, I'm working, I want to work? That song, how much I love that song. And listen, y'all love Dolly just as much as I love Dolly. I have never heard of a Dolly Parton hater. She's just such a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful person, beautiful spirit, the most amazing sense of humor, like we talked about yesterday. I really, really hope that things turn around for her. She looks great in that video. I think Angie said her voice sounded a little bit off, so maybe like it's something to do, maybe she even has a cold, a fever, I don't know. But she looks good. She looks good, and she doesn't look like somebody who's incredibly frail or anything like that. Thank God, thank God, thank God. I was not ready to lose Dolly Parton. Carly says, Dolly and Toni Braxton are goals to me. Don't they look freaking amazing for their ages? Absolutely amazing. Truly, truly, truly amazing, right? So Allie's saying that Dolly is basically saying she's close with her sister, but not that close. Don't go running around, spreading my business, trying to get people thinking that I'm dying when I'm not. And she said, I'm not dying like a million times over. She really wants y'all to know she's not going anywhere, right? So just keep your prayers though, just in case, right? I think it's always nice to send nice positive thoughts, especially hearing that she's going to need multiple surgeries. And that's something she said out of her own social media page, at that age, like that sounds rough. So, let's just hope that the surgeries go well. There are no complications or anything like that. Jamie says, I love how she tells people she's fake. Do you the plastic surgery? Same here, like, you want to call me fake? Okay, I'm fake. Now what? What's your next thing? You got to be a little bit more creative than that, right? And yes, I agree. We need her forever. We need her forever. And this is such a beautiful thing to say, Jess. And it fits just so nicely with your beautiful romantic profile photo. Dolly could live to 100 and she would still be gone too soon. Amen, amen, amen. Absolutely beautiful. Why don't we go ahead and leave things off on that incredibly beautiful, poignant note, okay? Thank y'all so much for joining me for another episode of The Morning Report. Sorry about the technical issues at the beginning of the show, but listen, it can't always be perfect, especially when you're doing live streaming. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys hanging in there. I'm looking forward to being back again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with more of the day's hottest stories. And I'm wishing you guys a great rest of your day, evening, night, whatever it is that you're over there doing, okay? Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.